Should you be questioning the FBI's official narrative in the Las Vegas massacre? Absolutely. And I'm going to tell you why. The FBI immediately dismissed an Associated Press report that ISIS had claimed responsibility for the attack. They also immediately dismissed Killer Paddock's girlfriend, Mary Lou Danley, as a person of interest. They said, she's in the Philippines, leave her alone. Well, they took a day or so to investigate and discovered that Paddock had wired $100,000 to the Philippines, presumably for Danley. So what did the FBI do? Well, they got her on a plane back to Los Angeles to question her as a person of interest. Their narrative seemed a little premature, didn't it? Well, it was. It was very, very premature. Now, even more troubling to me, when I heard ISIS and I heard Philippines, it popped a red flag. Because what most people don't know is that the Philippines is an absolute hotbed of radical Islamic terror activity. Al-Qaeda and ISIS both have strongholds in areas like Mindanao. Deadly, deadly places. Our special operators are often involved in firefights there with the terrorists. Just doesn't get as much media attention as Afghanistan and Iraq, but again, every bit as deadly. So why would the FBI rush to potentially sanitize a narrative? Well, this is the same FBI that never wanted us to hear the 911 tapes on the Pulse nightclub shooting in Orlando. Because once we did hear those 911 tapes, we heard the Muslim terrorist Omar Mateen telling the 911 operator that he slaughtered those people in the name of Islam for ISIS. That was something we were never supposed to hear. This is the same FBI that won't cooperate with Congress on Hillary's emails, on Jim Comey's memos, or on whether or not taxpayer dollars were spent with Fusion GPS to create the phony dossier designed to hurt President Donald Trump. This is all very, very troubling. And what about the girl that local network affiliates interviewed right after the massacre? The one who said that moments before the massacre, a woman came up to concert goers and said, "You're all going to die." We're not hearing much about that story anymore, are we? Her videos all but been sanitized by the mainstream media. But what I think is most damning to the FBI's official narrative are the recent statements of Clark County Sheriff Joe Lombardo. Now, Sheriff Lombardo, as the sheriff of Clark County, is tasked with protecting the Las Vegas Strip. That's an awesome responsibility. What it also tells me is he probably, most likely, carries a top secret security clearance. That's very, very common in law enforcement. The police commissioner of New York City carries one. The chiefs of Chicago and Los Angeles carry top secret clearances. And I would bet my bottom dollar, so does Sheriff Lombardo, in order to effectively protect the Las Vegas Strip, a top terror target. He couldn't do his job otherwise. He has to coordinate with FBI and CIA, etc. So Sheriff Lombardo is a guy who understands how to look at intelligence and how to act on intelligence. When he stands in front of the cameras and has some very, very serious questions about whether or not Paddock was radicalized, I listen. And you should listen too. Because this entire narrative is very troubling. And I've been very troubled by what I see inside the FBI because of the number 2 man at the FBI, Andrew McCabe, a very proud, very vocal Democrat, a guy whose wife ran for Virginia State Senate as a Democrat after getting $700,000 from the PAC of Virginia Governor Terry McAuliffe, a longtime Clinton ally and fundraiser. Now, legal experts have told me, both privately and on air, that McCabe most likely violated the Hatch Act, campaigning for his wife as such a visible law enforcement figure. But he got a pass on that. He got an absolute pass on that. Understand something else. As the FBI number 2, McCabe oversees all criminal investigations. So at the end of the day, he's the top guy on this Las Vegas investigation, as he was on the Orlando Pulse nightclub shooting. Very, very troubling that we're seeing the same narrative. Very, very disturbing. So you should absolutely be questioning the official narrative, because I am. But I love that when I woke up this morning and I looked at social media, you were asking those questions. I love it because we need accountability. And in this case, we need the truth. Nearly 60 people are dead and over 500 wounded. And it looks like we're not getting the full story. And as a matter of personal and national security, we absolutely deserve the full story from the FBI and other law enforcement agencies. And thank God for people like Sheriff Lombardo, who are willing to ask the tough questions. If you like this content, if you like this segment, please sign up for a premium subscription. www.therebel.media/shows. I'm John Cardillo. I'll be back with you tomorrow bringing you more of the truth. Have a great one.